of female artists in March. This is March 2024. March in the United States is Women's History Month. And this is our third and almost last artist in this series of women artists. And today we're looking at the art of Joan Semmel. Semmel. I'll put her name in the chat box in a moment. Joan Semmel is unabashedly and unashamedly a feminist artist. She was born in 1932 in New York City, which makes her quite old. She is now 92 years old and still going strong from what I understand. I want to try and find a quote that I have from her in which she explains what a feminist artist is for her. Give me one moment. I should have turned down the page because I love her definition. Hang in there, everybody. You know, well, I'll come across it during the slideshow and reference it then, I hope, because it's a great, great quote. I have a lot of great quotes from her. That's probably why I can't find the exact one I'm looking for. Okay, so let's start, as always, by looking at her work. We're going to talk about her work briefly, and then I'm going to talk about the project that you can do on your own today. And those of you who are here are going to be able to benefit from my one-on-one instruction. And starting with a slideshow that I'm going to share with you of her work. Everyone at home. Oh, first, I meant to put in the chat box. I'll do it after the slideshow, the spelling of her name, because you can see it on the full screen now. Joan Semmel. I misspelled it. I spelled it incorrectly on the slideshow. There are actually two M's in her surname. It is Semmel. So forgive me for that. And here we go with the slideshow. She is a feminist painter, professor, and writer, and she is best known for her large-scale realistic nude self-portraits. And her paintings are very unique because of her perspective. She looks at herself most of the time in her paintings. When she looks at herself, she looks down. So no one has ever done this before. And it makes for a very unusual composition in her work. Because we're in a public space, I'm not showing a lot of her nudes, including her nude self-portraits. Those of you who become greatly inspired and interested by her work, you know, I invite you to look further into what she does. She began her training at Cooper Union. She went on to the Art Students League of New York, where she earned a BFA, and then she earned her BFA from Pratt Institute in 1963. That was around the time I was in high school, and I was at Pratt Institute's summer program building my portfolio to get into college. I never met her, unfortunately. So this is one of her first self-portraits. She was bucking the tide at that point in her career. Most of what was going on in the art world at that point in time was abstract expressionism. She decided that wasn't what she wanted to do. She became very involved in realistic figurative painting. She had spent 7.5 years in Spain from 1963 to 1970, where she developed a very broad gestural and spatially referenced painting with a somewhat surreal figure ground composition. She used this highly saturated, brilliant color palette that separated her from the leading Spanish artists who used a very grayish, Goyesque color palette. She came back to, well, I'm actually reading this from her bio, but thanks, Eileen. Goyesque means she did not, but the artists that she was studying with and learning from were copying the great work of Goya, whom we've talked about in the past, those of you who've worked with me in other classes. In 1970, she returned to New York City and earned her Master of Fine Arts from Pratt Institute in 1972. And at this point, she became shocked, and we talked about this in the last class, incredibly shocked by the very sexualized images of women that she saw on American newsstands, in American magazines and newspapers. And this is when she really started painting in the figurative style and using the erotic themes for which she's known today. In fact, her Master of Fine Arts thesis show at Pratt consisted of paintings from the first erotic series. And this is an interesting side note. Her mother was comfortable talking about her own sexuality, but seeing her daughter's paintings of sexual scenes was difficult for her, the mother, because she still kept a kosher home and had a traditional notion of modesty. And I'm bringing that up because Joan Semmel, grew up in a very traditional home, and the kind of art that she was doing was kind of revolutionary from her background. How many years did she live in Spain? She lived in Spain for 7 years. And now back in New York, she became involved in the feminist movement and feminist art groups. The 70s were really the height of the feminist movement. Unfortunately, I missed a lot of it because I was already living in Australia, but I sure heard a lot about it. This is another self-portrait, obviously later in life. She's very involved with the beauty and uniqueness of the human body, how it changes throughout our life, and how the aging process, although it changes us, does not diminish our beauty. And those of us here who are going through that process, I hope you're listening. So you can see her palette too has changed from the first self-portrait we looked at. This one is much more muted and quiet. The Women's Caucus for Art honored Semmel as a 2013 recipient of the organization's Lifetime Achievement Award. So she has been a lifelong feminist. And here's a quote from her that I love. I would like to get away from the basic declaration of why there are no great women artists. There are great women artists. There are many great women artists, and we shouldn't still be talking about why there are no great women artists. If there aren't great celebrated women artists, that's because we have not been celebrating them, but not because they are not there. And I agree with that 100%. Here we are in Women's History Month. There are many, many, many great visual female artists. We just don't hear about them. More and more we are. That's the good news about the 21st century. But as Semmel was coming up, you would often hear that oft repeated phrase, oh, there aren't that many great women artists. That's why you don't see them in museums and galleries. But even at that time in the 70s, it was untrue. There were a lot of great women artists. They just weren't being shown. And still to this day, they're not shown as much as they should be. She taught at the Brooklyn Museum of Art and the Maryland Institute College of Art. And as of 2013, she's a professor emeritus of painting right here at our own Rutgers University. In 2000, Semmel taught at International Summer Academy of Fine Arts in Salzburg, Austria. She was in her 70s at that point. Okay. She says, while my work developed through series, the connecting thread, series SERIES, the connecting thread across decades is a single perspective, being inside the experience of femaleness and taking possession of it culturally. Though Semmel has created many different series throughout her career, the majority of her work features themes of sexuality, the body, intimacy, and self-exploration, both physically and psychologically. Yeah, I should have minimized the pictures. Sorry, guys, those of you who are here in person. I can't move them now. But she removes the head and the faces of her models, her own face, and if she's painting someone else, she deliberately moves the face to make the figure anonymous. And the reason for that is not to objectify the figure. Remember, we talked about this last class, but it's to make the figure less of an object of desire and more of the subject of the painting. She forces the viewer to keep in mind the whole concept of nudity opposed to being naked by making most of the individuals of her paintings anonymous and keeping their faces hidden. This element is beneficial because it therefore compels the viewer to focus on the sexual connection itself and the personal interaction instead of the individual. So again, she's looking down at her body, not straight at her body. So the body becomes this beautiful shape and form. Notice the negative composition, the negative shapes, the green against the hot pink, that reddish color on the flesh. It's pretty wonderful. The green of the background and the negative spaces in and around the figure. It's a pretty imposing, powerful composition, I think. During the summer of 1973, while teaching at the Maryland Art Institute in Baltimore, she began painting what she calls the idea of myself as I experience myself, my own view of myself. And she said, the nude no longer appears as an idealized fantasy, allegorical figure, or landscape of desire, but rather as the self-apprehended body of a specific woman. So remember, in Renaissance paintings and traditional paintings up till modern times, the female figure was looked upon as this fantasy figure. Remember, usually a mythological creature or or a religious figure, or something not quite real, but something untouchable or fantastical. But she thinks by showing the female nude, she becomes less of this fantasy or figure of desire in a story, but a specific woman. So here, this is her hand. We know it's her hand because she likes to do her hand with her rings on it. So it's inescapable that it's her body. And she seems to be either grasping another nude or her own body. It's not clear to me. Maybe her belly. The colors are incredible, right? Bless you, Heather. It's probably dust. But notice the orange, the yellowy orange against the violet hue. We've got our complementary colors at work here. The greenish color on the back of the hand against the blue violet. It's really kind of wonderful. Very unexpected colors in a nude portrait, and they work. What, Eileen? Right, they make you sit up and notice. They're kind of a shock to the system, and they work. Okay, here's one of her statements on feminism. The validation of female experience in this culture is a primary feminist goal, and any art which does so is, for me, feminist art. That was the quote I was looking for. I think that bears repeating. The validation of female experience in this culture, the validation of female experience in this culture is a primary feminist goal. And any art which does so is, for me, feminist art. So her art is about validating us, ladies. This is a self-portrait. Notice again, she's hidden her face. She has not chopped the head off, so she's not objectifying the female figure, but she is making the figure anonymous. Look at the fantastic shadow. I think it's gorgeous. Guys, as always, don't let me influence your opinions. Anybody not like these paintings? It's inescapable, right, Nicola? The shadow is just really makes this painting. What? Yeah, the shadow is almost a figure in and of itself. Yes. Looks like two figures. Yes, the shadow has color inside of it. I'm not quite sure how she did this. Did she have someone take a photograph? Was she looking in a mirror? This kind of full figure self-portraiture is tough to do, but it is a self-portrait. I like her use of dark shadows and lines. I can point to it for folks who are here, like the line under the belly fold here, I find very beautiful. And then the shadow underneath her arm, very wonderful. The dark line underneath this arm is also touches of brilliance. All right, so I'm going to race through these now. Semmel is alive and well, as I said, in her 90s. I think she's 92 or 93 now, kind of like my artist friend Rosalind Rose, who's 94, still creating art. She even has an art piece up on Facebook going now. And she's continued to paint nude self-portraits even today. Her most recent work explores the physical and psychological experiences, I mentioned this earlier, associated with aging, while continuing to be self-referential. And these meditations on aging female physique are experimental in representation, expanding beyond conventional realism. This one, it's just somebody else. What do you think? Thoughts? Different why? No head, again, she's keeping the figure anonymous. I love the posture of this figure, that you can't see the full head, but you can tell from the way the shoulders are hunched that the whole figure is thrust forwards, which is an unusual pose. I'm not sure if this is a self-portrait or if she's working from another model. Beautiful negative space. The dark outline just makes this figure so strong.
Liz, it's Robin here.
Hi, Robin.
Hi. I'm impressed all over the place with the proportions she's able to attain in drawing or painting her figure. They're right on. I mean, they're beautifully what do you call it? They're the proportions correct, if you whatever you want to say. And then to move to this with so few lines and actually not so much different color, you still get the total feeling of the person and her attitude and everything. So it's pretty remarkable.
It is.
Yeah. So thanks for showing her. Yeah.
Yes. She should be way more famous than she is, don't you think?
Yeah, it's remarkable.
Okay, Heather has a question. Thank you, Robin. Well, she's with her left arm, her hand is gripping her right leg, and then her right arm is draped over her right thigh. So you can't really see. You see the line where you would differentiate her right thigh from her right arm doesn't exist because they're overlapping.
No,
So,
no, but the other arm
goes down underneath this hand, and the left hand is gripping this right leg. You see where the hand wraps around underneath the right wrist. This is the left hand, goes underneath the right hand, like this. Like this. And so the right leg is skewed so far to the right that it looks like it's part of the right arm. The flesh of the underflesh of the upper right arm is flattened against the right thigh, which is also splayed out. So they do look like they're all one piece. You're right, Heather. And look, her right breast is also spread way out. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of tension. The right side of the body is really pressed down hard.
the right side of the body, her right.
Her right. This whole side of the body is really squished down hard, like this. like this. All right, we can talk more about that later. I want to finish the slideshow so we have enough time to do our own thing. Love this one. Great, good, just gorgeous color. I mean, arguably her proportions are sometimes off. I'm looking at the calf of the leg in this one. It looks a little small to me, but who knows? Who cares? The right leg underneath this arm, it looks like it should be bigger. But maybe you can't tell because the arm is covering it up. I love the way she squeezed the figure into the tiny space. It creates such a nice tension with the gray-blue shapes around the body. That's something to think about, guys. Whenever you design where you're going to put the shapes on your paper or your canvas, notice how she lets things run off the edge and go right up to the edge. You see that? Because all of these gray-blue shapes inside and in the corners, those negative spaces, really force the viewer to look at the positive shape of the body. And we call that visual tension. It makes for such an exciting painting. I don't get this picture. It's disturbing to me. It looks like she's sitting with a dead person. But I put it in because I think that the shading and everything is just extraordinary. It looks like the dead person's legs are wrapped around her waist. Bizarre, right?
Very masculine. Is it there? Another person.
I have no idea of knowing if it's a self-portrait, but they couldn't be. There's someone that she's sitting with. Right. It has to be another figure. I mean, I suppose it could be an African-American person, but the skin color to me is very unusual. It looks more like a dead person. So let's move on. This is another self-portrait. So she's continually challenging the patriarchal gaze of an objectified nude female body. She works to dissolve the typically clear demarcation lines between artist and model, viewer and subject. And she's been honored over and over again and has been shown in multiple museums throughout her life. I don't know. I can't answer that question. Eileen said she looks the oldest in this portrait so far. I don't know the answer to that question. She looks certainly different from other portraits that I've shown. All right, so today we are going to be doing portraiture. And my first question is, are there any more thoughts, ideas, or questions about Joan Semmel before I move on to our own project? No. I want to encourage folks to do self-portraits. Oh, I cannot do that. It's too hard. Let me tell you, it's not that difficult. I'm going to go over the proportions of the human face and the tricks that all artists use in any kind of portrait. We're going to do facial portraits, not full body nudes. Those of you at home, if you're feeling really adventurous, go for it. We can't do that here at the library. Sorry, guys. I have brought in mirrors for those of you who are here. There are not enough for everyone to take their own mirror. I'm sorry to say. I seem to have lost quite a few of the mirrors I used to have. So if you want to do a self-portrait and you don't have a mirror, you can take a selfie on your phone and work from that. Those of you who do not feel ready to do a self-portrait, I'm going to put an image up on the screen that you can copy, a portrait that you can copy. I did bring in a few magazines for those of you who are here to copy photos from as well. I'm going to do a quick review of the proportions of the human face and how we draw the human face. For those of you who do not need the review, I invite you just to get started. Those of you who are here, there's paper at the back, all different kinds of drawing equipment for you to use. I'm not going to do a demo today because I feel like I just did a demo of drawing the human face. Sarah, I'm feeling you may not have attended the demonstration the day that I did the demonstration, but you're welcome to listen to me do the review of the proportions of the human face. Those of you who are here, you can start getting your materials. Please, if you could not talk while you're getting your materials, because I'm going to start the review of the proportions of the human face, and I want folks at home, if they wish, to be able to hear it. Those of you who are here and you want the review and you want to be able to listen to what I'm doing, just sit where you are and you can watch on screen. Any questions? It's a lot of directions that I just gave. All right, go ahead. Don't fight over the mirrors, kids. All right, let's begin. I'm going to open up a picture. And Alice, this is your favorite picture. I should have had it open already. I said if you don't want to do the human face, you can opt out.
Goodness, what you do. From the neck down.
That would be a good trick. Oh my gosh, I can't find the picture I'm looking for. Ah. All right, hold on a minute, everybody. I don't know what's going on. Let's see if I have it in this slideshow. No. Oh, but we're going to leave this open in case we need it. No, go back. Ah, yes. Okay. So, folks at home, I'm going to do a quick slideshow. This is even better than what I had originally planned to do. Really, we're going to do a quick run through. This is an oldie but goodie. Folks who are here getting your materials, if you wouldn't mind not talking. Those of you who want your review of the proportions of the human face, you can check out the screen. Everyone at home, I hope you can see it. If you can't, just yell out. So, why is it not moving? All right, we are having technical difficulties now. And it's not letting me escape. Yeah, I'm doing that. If I can find my mouse. Oh, now it's letting me advance. Ah, this is the picture I was exactly looking for. Fabulous. Robin seems to need to get back in. Laura, if you wouldn't mind assisting her. All right. This is a wonderful picture. Folks at home, I hope you can see it. Let me know if you cannot. The human face is designed so brilliantly. If you took a ruler or a pencil, can I borrow your pencil? You don't need a ruler. Just watch me. Sit and watch. And divided the face in half. You can see that it's completely symmetrical. You see the line down the middle? Everyone at home, can you see the line down the middle of the face? It's symmetrical, the same on both sides. You can see in this diagram that there is a line for where the eyes fit on the face. So that's almost halfway down the face. There is a line where the eyebrows fit on the face at the top of the ear. You see that? My brows are right at the top of my ears. Then there's another line at the bottom of my nose, which is at the bottom of my ears. So there's this whole corridor on the face between the brow and the bottom of the nose that fits between the ears. It's this magical mathematical precision to the face. Another guide for looking at proportion of the human face. If you drop a pencil dead straight from the middle of the eye, from the pupil straight down, it goes right to the corner of the lips, the outer corner of your lips. And that works on both sides of the face because it's symmetrical. And from the inner corner of the eye, right from the tear duct straight down, is the outer edge of the nose. And where does the bottom of the mouth sit? Halfway between the bottom of the nose and the bottom of the chin. So that's the final guideline across this drawing of the face. Everyone see that? It's so cool. Those of you at home, you can go to the internet, put in your search bar, proportions of the human face, and there'll be 1 million diagrams, and this face should come up. You can print it out and keep it, or you can put it on your desktop and save it and use it forever. There are 1 million. Look at this one. Very similar to the last one I showed you. And this one, way more mathematical. It shows you that the eyes sit halfway down the face, like I just said. The bottom of the nose is halfway between the eyes and the chin. The mouth is 1/3 of the way between the eyes, the nose and the chin. Way too mathematical for me, but these are diagrams that you can use. This one's a little creepy looking, but it's all about the fact that you can measure proportion and distance on the human face by eye lengths. So the human eye is 5 eye lengths in width across. The distance between the eyes, the bridge of the nose, is 1 eye length. The length of the nose is an eye length. This one's a good one. This is also about eye length and guidelines. You can find all these guidelines online. All of these diagrams with guidelines online. All right, now though, I'm going to put up some images that you can copy. So if you don't want to do a self-portrait, you can do one of these pictures or a picture that I'm going to put on the screen for you to copy if you prefer. I try and do a self-portrait. If you've never done it before, it's really wonderful. Artists for centuries have drawn their own faces because guess what? Who's the cheapest, most available model you can find? Which now I am not finding the folder I have. So give me a minute, everyone. Only seem to have them in a slideshow. So let's go to the slideshow. I think this is the picture I put up last time. So let's go. It's this beautiful woman, and she's of a certain age. So I like that. Is this? Yes. All right, so I've put up this, I think, beautiful lady for everyone to copy. If you don't have a picture of your own to use, or if you're not interested in doing a self-portrait, folks at home, you're good to go. You have ideas, you have enough pencil and paper. And I recommend, particularly those of you whom this may be the first time you've ever done this, just use pencil and paper. Number 2 pencil is the best. It's nice and soft to use. Those of you who are more veterans at this, feel free to use whatever media or mediums you prefer. Since Ms. Semmel is, I don't mean to use the past tense, is such a champion of wild color, try something new. Those of you who've done a lot of portraiture, and do something in wild color. All right, seems like everybody's good to go. Yeah, you remembered exactly how to begin. Perfect. 1 minute, please. Everybody, the basic shape of the human face is an oval. So everybody needs review. So either take a picture of yourself. You know how to do a selfie? You want to do a selfie? No. Okay. You could draw that picture or you could use magazine. Yeah, I draw that. You know how to do selfie? No? Interesting. You're so beautiful. Yeah, but you did it right already. This is perfect. You're doing perfect. So now the nose, halfway between eyes and chin. Just need a line for the nose, then the mouth. I'm doing it out behind. Oh. Oh. And Lisa, noticing, this line is down a bit too far. This should be up high. Yeah. Yeah, this feels a little bit too heavy. Yeah. Unless you make. Yeah. Maybe not. Keep going. Keep going. Sure.
My birthday in June, June.
Okay.
In June, in June.
Start
Not
shopping
collecting.
now for her.
Oh my God. Yeah, you have time.
I just give you a piece of paper.
That's it? I'm there for a gold this one. This is what you need, a piece of paper.
American fiction? American fiction? American fiction. Oh, you saw it already? Oh, so forget. There are two of them.
No?
Your face is a little round. This feels a little. Gotta go read. Now that I know. We can't do the other one.
Welcome the names.
This. You see that? I spelled the whole thing.
Look at that, look at that.
No, you look at this. Your eyes are big.
Mine should be.
Everybody. Okay? It's the little cell. This. This is a nose. First of all, the eyes are a little. Could be lower. And then the distance is back. Yes. Very good. Keep going. If you wear eyeglasses, use them. They're a great guidepost for you. How are we doing? Folks at home? Try with the self-portrait, try and let go of the guidelines. Guidelines are just that, guidelines. You do them very lightly for starters, and then don't obsess about them. They're just there to help you situate where the features of the face go. And once you've got that going for you, then try not to worry about making everything perfect. Perfect is the death of art. Truly. I don't want you drawing the diagram. I want you to draw the real face. Are you showing her? That's on screen. Okay, good. Show her. So big. This is a beautiful start. Eyes are a little bit. Oh, my goodness. Yes. Really great. Yes, so your guidelines are perfect. It was perfect. So, but now I want you to do perfect. It's good. What is this line?
That one is for
I think you have one too many. Here's your eye, nose, mouth, eye, nose, mouth. You can get rid of it. This top one you don't need.
I think this one should be done here.
If you have, here you
I
have eye,
too many line on.
yeah, You have eye, nose, mouth. You can get rid of this. And then start drawing the face. Good. So, interesting dark eyebrows. So, yeah. Very dark. Very little of the whites of the eye show. Eyeball is round. Yes. See how it feels like the whole. You cannot see white underneath. Okay, a little bit of white in the inside corner. You see here, and the outside. Good. Very good. Yes. Perfect. Make it darker. See how dark her eyes are almost completely black. Shadow here. Top of the nose. See that little shadow? Top. Then underneath. She's not a young woman, so there's wrinkles. Beautiful wrinkles. Very good. Great. Yeah.
You're squinty.
Yeah, that's so beauty. There is a, the one thing I want to see complaining is the movie. that Josh Keaton was. Her home. Let's see that. Got children's window. Shading. It's pretty fabulous. Look at you. This is so good. This is your best ever. Keep going. No, really. Keep going. Now remember your ears. All the way down to the nose. This distance is still too big. Between the eyes. Your nose from the bridge to the bottom is one eye. Now this line has to come up and my thumb is. It's one eye. You learn as you go in the face. Don't worry about the shape of the glasses now. You've got where they go. Now you want to do the eyes. Okay? Doing terrific. Thrilled. It looks like. We got lots of time, folks, so take a deep breath and relax. Folks at home, you're still hanging in. Lauren, you're still with us? You're good? Not seeing you in the queue. Maybe you have to leave early. Oh, there you are. Now I can't see you because the stupid toolbar's in the way. And because I have the slideshow open, I don't know how to get rid of the toolbar. I can't really see your picture, Lauren, sorry. No, it's because my toolbar is in the way and I can't get rid of it. Is anybody drawing? Yes, somebody's drawing the image on the screen. So I'll see it later, Lauren. It looked pretty good from the part I could see. And I love you're doing it in blue. So, or was it Lauren or was it Sarah who held up their picture? It looked pretty awesome. We will have sharing at the end. Very good. Don't forget to look at her. Now, this is great that you have the white spot, but look at her picture. Is the white spot that big? It's barely even there, but you can't even see it. Look.
Yeah.
Look how teeny, 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 teeny.
Right.
So fill up the whole eye with black.
Okay.
More. Fill this in even more. More black. More black. Make it very dark. Yes, I love, this is great. No white underneath though. Look. No white underneath. You'll fill the whole thing in. All the way. Fill it all in. On both sides. White on either side. Very good. Very good. With the nose is very good. Very good. Notice on this side, you see more shadow. More shadow here. To add more shadow because nose is actually a little thinner on this side. Yes, very good. And you can also use this side instead of this way. This would be this way. Then when you spread it, and you can use the stumps for blending. Very good for blending. Forget to look at the picture, not just at your drawing. Okay, so with the nose, you're doing great. On this side, do you see it's darker? On this side, it's much darker on this side. Yeah, look at the picture. Look at me. Don't look at your drawing now. Look at me.
Okay.
See how dark it is here? And then all the way down, it's darker on this side than this side. That's what helps you form the shape of the nose. Very good. Perfect. And you can get even darker on top. Look, it's quite dark on this side. And watch how you do the outside, the bottom of the nose. Watch me first. See the outer curve? Same thing on both sides. You can always stand behind me. Maybe easier for you to see.
Right.
Beneath the nose, it's quite dark. Do it all with the shading. See how I keep looking at her? I don't just look at my drawing. I have to keep looking at her to see how she looks. Otherwise, all my drawings will look exactly the same and not like the person I'm trying to draw. So that the nose just suddenly starts to appear by using the shadow. You're welcome. But the real thing to remember is keep looking at her. And remember, here's your guideline. So the nose stops here. This is the bottom here. That's where this part goes, right here.
This part is should be.
Bottom of the nose should be here. This guideline. So this is strict. She's looking up a bit.
Yeah.
I think you had it more correct first.
Okay.
So it's gonna go up. And you can't really see the outer nostril here at all. It's mainly what I call the bulb or the tip of the nose. You're not, this that you find here, you really can't see it. Very, very little.
I want that.
I think so. And it's the tilt, you notice the tilt of the nostril. So it's kind of this way. It's more diagonal like this. You see that? Not straight up and down, but more towards the. Hope that helps. 3/4 is probably even more difficult than profile. You picked a tough one. I love this. It's a little Are you gonna add on this side too?
It's a chinless one.
It's a genius one.
Chinless.
Chinless, as I told you, it
Yes.
needed to be round. Yeah, so
I
put
don't
some
care.
definition
Some beautiful-
underneath.
Beautiful.
No, it just needs a line.
Yeah.
I like the green. It adds a little some of that green.
Okay.
It's this dark line down here, I want maybe another very heavy dose to balance up the red and yellow. We need to move on. So, this is better than this. It doesn't matter. They don't have to be there. You need to open up your eyes and look at where, wait. Actually, it's the depth of art, you know. Watch me. I never draw the whole eye first. I always start with the brow. So you got the upper lip. I like to draw the whole people. Whatever. So,
Do it again, I believe.
the the lid,
Oh, the lid first before the brow?
I do the brow first, but we're not worried about the brow. I like to draw the shape of the lid first. And then whatever this part is for. Iris. I like to draw the whole iris next.
Right.
Because the size and what I can see of the iris, this part,
Right.
determines the whole shape of the eye. How much of the white I can see, etc. And then I draw the lower lip.
I learned that originally years ago, and then I forgot it.
Of course, we ever forget, we all forget, and you repeat it. So you see that?
Yeah.
So you have your eye in place of it. Now I want you to look at the iris.
Okay.
How big it is. You see how it fills
Right.
the entire eyeball. Your eyes are like blue, but they have color. Do not forget to color this part of it. So that's what I want you to work on next. And then you have the iris, which is slightly darker. And you need a little splotch. There you go.
So this is darker than this, but then you like this, right?
Right.
Okay. Got it. Looks like an eye. Golly.
Okay, that's the next step for you. So, stop intellectualizing. You, my love, too. Look. The iris is much bigger. It fills the whole eyeball. The colored portion of the eye is much bigger, okay? You have beautiful dark eyes, they fill the whole, so make that part bigger. Looks so much like you. Wow. Gratitude. I'm back, folks at home. You good? Oh, looks like we got a new person. Maybe. Okay. Not hearing from anyone at home, so I'm assuming we're well. We still have a little over 15 minutes to go. Um, Um, I think it's maybe the reverse. I think it's a little bottom of this. I don't know if you can fix that if it's being lost. I see it changes like complete. What? It changes complete.
Liz, where is that paper you wrote on? Don't move that paper.
Oh, I left it by June.
I got it, I'll get it. Well, does that mean it's my best friend? I got it, Liz.
I don't know what it is. I like when the hair was. I want to return to the spoil. It's very good.
Yeah, that's what I know.
We need that round. Here, and I draw this. So, and there's the eye is perfect. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I mean, I don't care. Like, wishing had eyebrows like that. Do you think she was born with eyebrows? Like, no, they're genius. Oh,
I'm
so,
trying to finish with,
so the tip. This shape, is much smaller. Somehow this goes up. What we call in English very pert. It's very pert and something. Yes, well, but I'm trying to show you the shape of Spring's line. shadow, but you should, when you do the drawing, it should be. I'm trying to help you. I'm not succeeding. But if you could define this brown, it kind of goes in and then round. But the way you have the nostril, it's just too big. I think that will help. You can see that. How wonderful is this? Look at you. Great. Okay, lips. Watch this lady. So she has very interesting lips. They're very, I think, different. So they have a distinct peak in the middle, double peaked. You see that? Pokey lips. They're quite dark. She must be wearing a dark lipstick. And they're right underneath the nostrils, the two little pokey uppy things on the lips. But her upper lip is kind of thin. And it really curls up, doesn't it? Almost like a cartoon now. The bottom lip is full. She has a very full, lush lower lip. Very round. See that? Perhaps dark lines where it's wrapped. Now to be really realistic, we'll put them in. The outer edges of her lips are quite dark. It's quite bright in the middle because the light is hitting right in the middle of her face. And she has this wonderful crease. Nose. Laugh line. Age. See the lines by her nose there. But then that's who she is. Wrinkles under her eyes. This line, I don't know if it's her makeup or deep wrinkle by her eye. And she also has wrinkle here, right? Here. That's like that. pretty old and pretty. See, the gravity is pulling down on her cheeks, they sag. Skin is soft. One thing we have over young women is her skin is so beautiful.
It managed to watch, but it's not easy very nice.
I've been trying a lot longer than you have, Lisa. You just started.
Yeah.
That's the difference. I've been practicing a lot longer than you.
How long?
I started when I was 7 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, so
No.
I'm about to turn 76.
Wow.
Wow.
Long practice, right?
Yeah, I've been doing art since I'm 7 years old. Wow. Now, I already see, there are mistakes in this drawing. And listen, there are mistakes in this drawing. This space is way too big. I should have made the mouth up a little higher. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But it's not gonna look totally like her, because I made a mistake. But am I crying about it? Sure. Done so many times in my life. One more. It's not gonna kill me. Beautiful, she has beautiful cheekbone. You see the beautiful shadow here. You see this distance is way too big. Now I could cheat, I could make her upper look bigger, and nobody can help but me. Just make it bigger. You guys, try the mouth now. You try drawing the mouth now. Just look at that, the shape of that mouth. It's very distinct on her face, very unique to her face. There's nobody's mouth quite like that. The fact that she's got that dark lipstick on really emphasizes the shape. Like two little mountain tops pushing up. Neck is very dark. See how dark shadow is under there. Oh. There. Great, both of them. Very good. You really want to look at her,
Yeah,
not at my drawing.
okay.
Sun's cold. Everyone at home happy? I'm assuming yes. We had a small group today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 13 people. Last week we were so crowded there was no room. It's terrific. Give yourself more hair. More hair and more forehead. You want the hair should spread up a little higher. Jump in. Very good. Remember? You're looking up at the ceiling, but you're not. You're looking straight into the mirror. No, you're sitting down.
It's upside down.
You can look during sharing time. Then
She disappears.
she's not today. Here she said, yes, this is much better. This is very good. Yeah, you're right. Okay, the lips. I don't see them quite so swollen. I see them with more heat. More extreme. Especially on the side, more of a sharp curve down. Almost like might be not to your liking, but very sort of. Good. Good, good, good. Yeah. More far. So this line should be up high. This line erase, make up high. Yep. Give her more far. Look, her hairline is up high. Lisa, look. Up high. Like most of us aging people, she's losing her hair. Her hair is thinning. It's a tragedy of, I think. My hair gets very thin. Very few women in my age group anyway. Thick hair. I never was. My grandma was bald. Sissy is leaving Monroe Center. Sissy's sister. No, it's leaving Monroe. She said at the studio sale on April 13th. Where's she going? So I can see stuff. That's it. That's still so. So Oh, sharing. Guys, sorry, we have to stop. And today, folks at home, if you would like to share, you go first. Gosh, I hate to make you stop. People who are here are working so hard. All right, Alice, let's look at yours first. You're already showing. Oh, wait, I don't have my Zoom. What's going on? Um, what the heck is going on here?
You go to view on the right and set it on.
Oh, I know what it is. Hold on, everyone. 1 minute. Um, Here we go. Hmm.
Click on the box where the photo is at the bottom.
I thought I was doing that. Oh, here we go. No. Well, we can see your picture, but it's small. Alice, it's pretty fantastic. Who is that person? Do you know?
Noam, what's his name?
Oh, Noam Chomsky,
Yeah, supposedly.
the great linguist. It's really well done.
Thank you. Noam Chomsky in an hour.
Noam Chomsky in an hour. Great title for a show, in fact. Um, Still trying to work out why we can't enlarge this.
Liz, you need to stop sharing.
Aha, that's what I forgot to do. Thank you. I'm having a very slow day here today.
How's that?
Still not big enough. Ah, here we go. Yeah. Wow. I just saw this picture recently too. Where is it? The New Yorker, the New York Times?
It was a photograph online. Yeah.
Really well done.
Thank you.
Great proportions, Alice.
Have to keep
Right.
working on it with the shading and all.
Yes. And I think, not to be horrible to Noam Chomsky, doesn't he have more wrinkles on his forehead? Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to add those wrinkles. I think he's quite proud of his age, in fact.
Well, that's good.
Thank you for sharing. Courtney, you're next in my queue.
It's sort of partially done, not quite,
Right?
but it's supposed to be a self-portrait.
Yes, it's definitely a self-portrait. Okay. Beautifully drawn, beautiful proportions.
Wow, oh, wow.
Couple of suggestions. I would make the iris of your eye darker. I know that you have hazel eyes, I think, but they're,
I have blue eyes, but it's fine.
oh, okay. You have blue eyes. Sorry, it's not coming through on the screen.
Hard to tell on the screen, yeah.
Yes. I would make them a little darker, even though they're light colored eyes. I would make them a little darker.
Yeah.
And the other thing, I would lighten the nostrils a little, because even though in reality our nostrils are dark, it flattens the nose when you make them dark.
Mhm.
And the reason I'm telling you to do that is because you have modeled and formed the nose with shading so beautifully that the darkness of the nostrils detracts from the beautiful three-dimensional character of your drawing. So just take your eraser and take some of that darkness away. This is a beautiful drawing. And the final suggestion, give yourself more hair, because the crown of the head is rounder. And this is something that portrait artists frequently forget to do, is round out the skull. Remember, we have a three-dimensional skull. Put it there. This is really, really well done. I want to see it when it's done. Thank you for sharing. Alice, Courtney, terrific. Who is next? The doggy is you, Laura, correct? Or no? Is this Lauren, the doggy? No, it's Courtney.
Yeah,
Okay.
the dog's still Courtney.
The dog is still Courtney. I still forget. So Robin, you are next. Do you want to go on camera and share? I seem to be recording myself on my phone. Robin, do you want to share? So Robin, I'm going to move on because we are running out of time. We can come back to you. Oh, is anybody else still here? Sarah or Lauren? No, I'm thinking not. So Robin, if you want to share, we can come back to you, which now brings us to folks who are here. And I have to get back to me. My camera. And here we go. Good. Making sure I still don't see Lauren or Sarah. So anyone here want to share? In-person people, Heather? Heather's coming up. Very beautiful drawing. And Heather did hers in color. I'm always impressed by artists who can do portraiture in color. Well done. Great proportions. Why did you choose blue? Just curious.
I don't know. I mean, I go toward small, I actually go toward friendly colors and other stuff, but I think in portraiture, I think of like some of those old masters and they did a lot in blue, also in the terracotta color, but blue.
Okay.
Some of them.
So Heather says she likes to go with blues when she does portrait work. Anyone else? Judy, want to share? Awesome.
I was able to, this is Robin, I was able to unmute my machine. So after she shows, if you want to see what I did, I can do that.
Absolutely, Robin. We'll let Judy share. And then, doesn't this look exactly like Judy, folks?
Oh, wow.
Really a terrific drawing. Judy, let's let everyone at home see you.
Yes, let's see Judy. Beautiful.
Come in the camera. It looks just like her.
You have the feeling. Oh,
Extremely well done.
Thank you.
I would have fun with your hair now. Make the hair darker in the
Yeah.
drawing.
Yeah, thank you.
Notice the way she used her eyeglasses to help with the proportions of her face. Okay, so Robin, let's see if I can find you now. Here you are. Oh. And somebody, I guess it was Laura, made you spotlit or spotlighted, whatever the correct English word is. Yeah, you have to unmute.
Right. I'm
Yeah,
getting
good.
used to this new computer. So anyway, doing a self-portrait, oh my God, what an experience. That was really hard. But anyway, here it is.
Folks who are here, look at this screen, please. Look
And
at this great drawing.
I can't get me, but I got a drawing anyway.
It's
So-
very close to you, Robin. I think it's wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thanks. It was
I
very
think,
interesting.
I think maybe your goal, work a little more on the shape of the lips.
Yes. Yes, I
And
can't
you're
get
going
that.
to really capture yourself. It's a beautiful drawing. And a little bit more on the crown of the head also. A
Right.
little bit more hair up here.
Right.
Even for us women of an age who, are facing, I don't know how to put it diplomatically, but our hair is thinning, but we still have a crown to our head. We still have a skull that needs to be put in the picture. This
Okay.
is beautiful. I love the freedom of your line and the movement and rhythm of the line in your drawing. Very nice.
Thanks for the feedback. And thanks
A lot of
everybody.
feeling in your drawing too. I like that so much.
Thank
All
you.
right. Anyone else here? Okay, let me spotlight. Go ahead. Here's Nicola.
So it's from a photograph,
This is great.
and it's a photograph from 30 years ago of me as a mom.
This is you.
Yeah.
Are,
So
are
I
you
realized
laying on
they found
something
this-
or are you?
I am actually like this. No, like this.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So I love it. Love it. I love the highlights on the face. It makes your face really glow. My one
Yes, I realized
suggestion.
that was the idea in the photographs. They fell out just a few days ago.
Awesome. I would get a little darker under here.
I can see it now that I'm
Yeah.
turning it. That makes sense.
But beautifully, beautifully rendered.
Yeah,
Also in
this-
color, so impressive.
this green combination on this side is not as strong. It's kind of weak. And then this color is much stronger.
I wouldn't characterize it as weak and strong. I think it's It's different. I actually prefer the drawing turned this way.
This way, then.
Yeah,
Then this way.
I don't know. I like it all three directions,
Yeah.
actually.
I know, the
So
lighting
keep
was
working
amazing.
on it. Fantastic. All right, anyone else here want to share? Oh, we're actually over time. You want to share?
Okay.
You did it very well today. So I'm going to say goodbye until next class. We will be doing our final Women's History Month celebration. Thank you all for coming. I'm very proud of what you created today. And if you want to send me your finished work, please do email me JPEGs of your work or bring it in person next class. Have a wonderful week, everyone. If you want to see my show in New York City, it is up until Saturday and it comes down then. All right, take care, everyone. Happy spring.